welcome back to my channel. So this plan with me video, I'm going to be doing September's monthly layout. I am still working with my camera setup, and so sorry if some of the bottom is cut out. I am trying something new, and now that I'm doing the voiceover, I'm realizing, yeah, this did not work. So with the plan with me for next week, for the weekly view for the first week of September, I think it's going to come out a little bit better, but I won't know until I go through and edit and do that voiceover. So there's the washi I'm going to use, a stencil that I'm going to use that I got, oh my gosh, I want to say at least 10 years ago, and then some stickers. The stamp that I'm going to use is from Hampton Art when I first started collecting stamps. And then I'm also going to use some distress ink. I'm going to use antique linen, worn lipstick, and my favorite, the broken china. And what I'm going to do is for the last 2 rows of September, it's technically October. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to place this stencil down, and I'm going to mark it, tape it down with some washi tape along the sides, and I'm going to go ahead and take my distress inks and fill in that corner rather than using washi to cover it up. So first I lay down a very light layer of the antique linen to kind of give the colors like a base. I wanted this whole like natural bohemian chic kind of look, and the stencil that I've had for many years seemed to fit right in. And I wanted to cover those squares but not like permanently cover them. I am going to try something different this month with this monthly layout. I want to go back through each day, and I want to challenge myself to draw something positive that happened that day. Whether it's me doodling a picture or me just like filling it in with words and stuff of things that happened. I noticed that in my August monthly plan view, I didn't use it. Like, I put stuff in it, but I never went back to it. And I feel like that's such a waste. So I'm going to try that. And there's the stencil. It actually worked out, and it looks really pretty. I really like it. So I'm going to go ahead. I want to try to balance out the page. And I'm thinking maybe I want to do it on the side and then maybe down a little bit more, but then I'd have to like white out all that, and that's just way too much work for me. So I went ahead with the top of the opposite of the other page. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Now, the paper I'm working on is just scratch printer paper. Ideally, I would like to use, when I use my distress inks, I do like to use my Tim Holtz, I don't know what he calls it. It's like some kind of, like, oh my god, I'm drawing a blank with my words. It's like a mat that you can put down. It's like heat resistant and everything, but right now it's completely covered with paint, and it's just too messy. And so I just used a piece of scratch paper. To get that color onto my tool, I barely tapped it because these colors are so vibrant, and the inks really hold up. This worn lipstick is one of my very first ones that I purchased, and that was almost 5 years ago, and it still has a lot of color in it. So you just need to very lightly dab it, and there is the finished result for the other side with the stencil. Now I'm going to go ahead and erase any of the little notes that I left for myself, and I want to cover up where it says birthdays and where it says events. So I'm going to take this sticker pack that I got from Joann's, and I'm going to use the labels from there and cover those up. Now the top section, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to use that for. I'll probably fill it in throughout the month. I don't know. Now that hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be looking at it more. Then I cut off the excess, but I did keep them just in case because I'm a crafter and you never know when you need a tiny little label in that shape. So yeah. Now I'm going to go ahead and lay down my bill checklist. These are all the bills that we have to pay monthly. I do have a separate bill calendar that I keep in the office, but I wanted to kind of also have one in my planner just like as a quick reference for me so that I can make sure that we are up to date on all of those lovely bills. And now it's time for the inspirational washi. This washi I got at Michael's and I love it. It's girly, but it's not like over the top girly in my opinion. They kind of remind me of little like meditation medallions, and dream catchers. So that's what I went with. And then this thin peach washi, and then I have another thin like magenta one. Both of those are also from Michael's. This is a little elephant that I found, clip art that I found on Pinterest or Google, one of the two, I can't remember. So I just shrunk it down so that it was 1 inch by, I believe it's 1 by 1? I don't know. I'll have to double check those measurements for the monthly video, so then that way it would fit right in there. And here is me trying to think what I want to write in that top section. I could not figure out, so I went ahead and just used the bottom section as like a don't forget. I didn't, that, you know, blah, blah, blah. I cannot talk this afternoon. I am so sorry, you guys. So in the don't forget area, like the first thing I did is I wrote down like Penny's meds, and then I drew out little squares for myself. Now back over to the other page, to cover what I really wanted a welcome September. I love the fall. It is seriously one of my favorite seasons. There's something about fall that I just cannot get enough of. So the stencil actually worked out perfectly to frame out the Hello September clip art that I found on Google. Now I went ahead and covered the bottom, that last little square. If you see on my Instagram post, I did change it. I did end up taking that out. I didn't really care for it afterwards, like after looking at it. So the magic with washi, I was able to take it out. And I did. Now this is the Hampton Art stamp that I have. I believe it's called Doodle. Oh, Great Pear is what it's called. It's really, really old. Really, really old. But I love this border stamp from that set. It kind of reminds me of lace. Now this is also, I think, one of the very first times I've done stamping in my page, and at first in my head I was like, yeah, it's gonna work out, it's gonna look so great. And then I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling it, but I was like, I got it, I already did it, I'm just gonna stick to it and keep going. I realized that I went over the page. Luckily, I was able to wipe off the ink before it dried permanently onto our dining room table. That would not have been good. that's what it looks like. Thought it was pretty cute. Then I was gonna go ahead and take the pen and kind of like frame out the Hello September, and I liked the softness of it. So I just went ahead and added onto the don't forget that I needed to pay all the bills this month, and also that payday was on what day paydays were for me. Because again, I did not want to write anything in the actual square for that day until the day comes, and I want to kind of challenge myself with like a daily doodle. Now along the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and use the Target Dollar Spot stickers and spell out the word enjoy. And that's pretty much it. I really kept it simple because again, I want to really fill this whole spread, this particular spread up with those daily doodles. I hope you guys enjoyed it and had fun keeping it short and sweet and simple.